Right, so let's see if this works. What am I going to make? Yes. Right, so we need a demon. I looked up demon, yes, but first I need to look up this. To make sure everything is creme de la crap. As changing the title is a bit hard. Okay. Working just fine. You have power connected. Right, so I have power. I have the power. Yokai. Well, this browser is useless. That is terrible to know. Right, we close the browser. You open up another browser. Now let's see, said the blind. I'm your land, let's see here. We have Mezu. No, Horsehead. Another horse, okay. You know, I'm starting to think that the most successful civilizations on Earth got successful because of boats and horses. Boat, horses, and bovine. Yeah. Oh, stop complaining, you lout. You lout. Ding, ding. Yes, you. Ding, ding, ding. Piss off. You. Cornucopia of no crap. Let's see. This is Mesu. Gozu and Mesu are a demon general who guards the gate of hell. Mesu. Okay. Det häst hod mann som vokter porten til underverden. The terrible Oni with animal heads, an ox for a head for Gosu, and a horse head for Mesu. Gosu. They are extremely powerful and have strength to move mountains. Så de kan flytte fjell og tjener under Enma. Though Gozamesu are the most famous and most commonly depicted in story and art, they are not the only animal-headed demons in the great King Emma's employ. Derimot et oksehode. Right here, so we're just gonna make something terrible. It's kind of fascinating how cultures all have ways to punish the wicked in the afterlife. But they also expected humans as assholes, so I realize you can't do anything with human nature. So you try to scare the shit out of people instead. Right, here we have Oni. Let's see, Oni. greatest icon of Japanese folklore. They're large, scary, standing taller than the tallest man, and sometimes taller than a tree. They come in many varieties, but mostly come depicted with red or blue skin, wild hair, 2 or more horns, and fangs like tusks. This is slightly related to Warhammer Orcs, then. Garrosh Hellscream, was it? They wear a loincloth made of pelts of great beasts. Right, another muscle bomb, you say? Right, another thing with strange eyes, you say? No, with strange proportionality. So let's see, they have tusks, multiple horns, big stature. Alright, let's see. Water? Yes. Resin tag. Skapte av et slemt menneske. Opp i et av Buddhas helveter. Yeah, so nice. Stor, sterk, god med magi. klubbgutt. So, wicked human die, and up in many of the Buddhist hell, transform into Oni, become ogreish and brutal, servants of the great lord Anma. Wielding giant iron clubs that crush and destroy humans solely for enjoyment. The job is to mete out horrible punishments such as peeling off skin, crushing bones, and rendering other torment too horrible to describe. All these are torments for wicked sinners. Og straff. Occasionally, when a human is utterly wicked that his soul is beyond any redemption, he transforms into an Oni while alive. He remains on earth terrorizing the living. These are the Onis most legend tells about. Are the stuff of legends and fairy tales in Japanese myth, full of countless stories of Oni encounters with lords and ladies and warriors and rogues. No two stories are alike, except for one thing. Oni are always the villain of mankind. Yeah, that's a terrible Oni. Ah, yes, I suppose. So you're a giant, red and angry, are you? So yeah, I'm just making just a sketchy notebook about stuff before I travel tomorrow. So looking up on some lore, so I have something I can prepare. Something you can tell and regale children and other people with. And regards to the Japanese afterlife. And hopefully scare some children, the shit out of some children. Just like how my father scared me with the tales of the toilet drug. Yeah. And essentially he scared me with stories of the creature in the toilet. That could come up of the toilet and grab you by the ass and pull you down. So I was legit slightly afraid of sitting for too long on the toilet. So what's up in the sandbox? Yeah. Well, that's good. I should be running out of steam after all. Die, infidel, in the name of the prophet, I shall make money out of you, a martyr out of me, or something. There we go. That looks like a big, red, angry, evil creature. Righto, so yeah, I found this site called yokai. So now I am just taking my notebook and filling it with the cheat sheet of Oni. So, for example, you have the oh, I'm good. I am getting a bit annoyed by the fact that I'm waiting for the replacement motherboard. So hopefully it will arrive by next week. As I'm a bit annoyed that I can't play computer games or work on my comic or do proper game try to learn Unity. Which was the whole point of getting upgrading computer. So I can actually do technically complicated stuff without having the computer practically dying on me. But otherwise, good. I'm going on a trip tomorrow. So I've been preparing food and I've been packing my bag. Yeah, family is good, I suppose. Haven't heard anything from father. My grandmother is still alive, and my mother, helping my mother with the cabin, which is almost done now. We managed to push the damn floating barge onto the water. So now we can actually deploy the boat. Yes. So, so they're gonna go fish. They're gonna go fishing and. So you can go fishing and swimming with the fishes. See, that's the whole point of having a boat next to the bloody sea, having a cabin next to the sea. It is for going out in a boat. Oh, no. It's next to the ocean. Let's see. So far it is 10k Norwegian kroners for a weekend, and what 1,000 it was 1,000 kroners for to stay for one night. Yes. One thing, a lot of especially people from Poland, Lithuania, and those few from Ukraine that ends up here in Norway. Thousand Norwegian kroners, at least, because it comes with with water, electricity, fully furnished. It comes with everything. But yeah, the most. But you see, the thing is with practically every. Yeah. We will see how that turns out, but yeah. But you see that practically every man from a different country that comes to Norway ends up going fishing. There's always, you drive across over a bridge, and there you will see some man from Poland. And what do they do? Oh, they go fishing. Oh yeah. Shino. They no, they capture, slay, and consume fish, and it's a way to get away from the wife, if they have one. Shiu, shiu no, sho, sho, ji, ro. Give me fish, kurva suka bliat. I go from wife, kurva wife. Yeah, well, how else are you supposed to get a break from the nagging? Simple, you just go fishing. And then when you get home, you can have a wife make dinner from fish. And you can tell bad dad jokes with your friend. I complain about your wife nagging. But yeah, Shinshio no Shujiro. He ate up all his horses, in which when meat was thrown upon eating at that time. And eventually he ran out of horses. So he ended up eating an old one, which came back to haunt him. Enter his gullet into the belly, and after 100 days, yeah, the man eventually died in excruciating pain, as the horse apparently and became shaped like an old, got the shape of an old horse. That's just all the horse with crooked back. But yeah. Yeah. By the way, have you noticed that it seems that the most successful kingdoms throughout history has been the ones who have horses or boats? A good bit have horses, ox, and ship and sail ships. They can travel great distances. Because practically, for example, all of those in South America, you know, the Incans and the Mayans, apparently they didn't have horses. And they were somewhat successful, then stagnated, and got conquered. And converted and changed. They didn't have really good horses. They didn't have horses, and didn't really have good boats. Basically, no beasts of burden. But practically all of Europe have a lot of horses and boats. I mean, it seems that Egypt was also fairly successful due to boats and heavy animals. Meanwhile, seems like many kingdoms in Africa, especially, that didn't really have that much in the way of carts and transportation. They haven't been as successful. They sort of stagnated a bit before they got conquered. As I mean, Asia was, for example, if you take the Native Americans, they didn't really use boats either. They have this big boats for and mass trading in the same way, for example, Vikings did, who are capable of, you know, getting from one country to another. And get new lands and trade with the place he came from. Therefore, Maybe so, but still, being able to transport a great deal of materials and manpower, people across big distances does help a lot. I mean, just look at China and Japan, or or most of Asia really. They were able to pull carts, pull people across the sea and across the land. Essentially, we're very good at mobilizing. And also, if you have fertile land and let's say ox and horse and such, you can use the power they provide to plow and do good farming. Yeah, maybe so, but the thing of note with the Islamic world, though, pretty much Islam in general, is that they are really good at their thing is trading. They sort of started with trading and is still trading. So the Islamic caliphates and such seems to at some point also, and the Saracens stagnated a bit, and the Ottomans tried to conquer everything and then lost. Then their empire went to shit. And then the Brits essentially sold Jerusalem back to the Jews. Sold Israel back to the people that came from there. If I remember my history. So, it's a bit cynical to say this, but in many ways, they are, I would say that the people, the tribe that was known as the Philistines, they got to say that it happens to them the same thing that happens to everyone else through history. You get conquered, you get beaten, and even if you reside on the land, whoever has the power makes the rules. And if you don't have powers, if you don't have the power to enforce rules, either join or get screwed over. I just like that there is Palestine really came from a Roman slur. Because if you not sure if you heard an insult. Because I'm not heard if you heard the word of Philistine. it can yeah, but yeah. Philistine can mean either a person who does not appreciate art, culture, or an ancient people who fought with the Israelites. So basically, yeah, it is essentially just another tribe down there that it just couldn't, it couldn't survive. It just couldn't conquer. It didn't conquer enough. No, let's see. Where was the? Oh yes. Yeah, that got me thinking about something though. Is that they could get really far with. Why isn't there no fish farms in the down there? I mean, one of the reasons Norway can export so much fish is because we put up nets. We put up big nets with big. We essentially just make a big net with the fish inside, floating around on the ocean. Then you feed the fish, and when they grow big enough, you just pick them up. Well, there should be, because I mean that would make perfect sense, because you gotta make food somewhere, and it's not like you can grow it in the desert. So you might as well trap fish in a big net and let them put small fish in a big net, let them grow up, and then catch them. Yeah, but Ukraine has a lot more has a lot more farmland though. You have a lot more fertile farmland. Yeah, so that's but meanwhile, Norway, for example, we have a lot of not a lot of Norway is flat. Most of Norway is a mountain. It means that putting that Which means that, it makes sense to grow fish in a controlled environment. Just have fish farms. There's always always on the news whenever there is an accident and they escape. Mm. I used to be a salaryman. A salaryman. Then I get betrayed by my party. I used to be a salaryman. But then they decided to cook. But then I got cooked. That's just some terribly sketchy artwork. Yes. As a stab. Yeah, that's a legit zone effect, right? Stab. It's up there with plot. No, let's see if we can do this a bit more professional. Yeah. Ball, jaw, ear. Eye, and wow, blood, neck. Go with bandana. And somewhat sensible pose. And then we just take a blade through the chest. So, backstory. He got let's see. The salaryman turned adventurer got betrayed by party because they didn't like his potions. Ah, damn mosquito. Damn it, you're not supposed to be able to get in here. Oh, let's activate some good old tune logic. Ooh, yes. Hero got betrayed and left for dead in the dungeon. By his putty. Fuck. He just didn't like the potions and he didn't like the face. So go stab. Let's see. So we just go to the hidden walks away. Like a cocky little shit. Yeah, just go. Let's see, and then Then we're taking backed up against wall, surrounded by shits wanting to shank him. Prop person up against wall. Yeah, you will not be able to see too much of this, but still. I have the perfect, the best plan. See, then we surround with some slimes. Yeah. But just he was about to be devoured by monsters. He fell into a hole in the floor. It's not maybe they're going to be my magnus opus, but I don't give a the chutzpah. See, then you fall this down and go. Yeah, then he falls down. There's a treasure chest. And put underline those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strip and 5 storyboard bits. Hmm. Oh, go with potato. Do 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 No, don't do that little shit. Well, he found the almighty potato. The rocket launcher, I mean, a potato gun. Ah, yes, okay. No, that's not. Come on. Let's see. I'm gonna need a bit more, the final more, just a bit more dynamic frame here. As firing. So yeah, I just cooked up another silly story idea. I told you we're gonna do a bit more of those. It's just that the execution leaves a lot. It's a bit harder to pull off. Yeah, because it's a bit hard to work digital when I don't have a machine that can do that. So I'll just gonna have to stick to, just doing it analog instead. So that means I can plan out the next chapter. No, the iPad thing, I have one, but that one sucks. And the two other ones I have is old and decrepit. And the third one died from water. Nope, at the moment I have shitty cell phones and paper and pen. Essentially, the tablets are, to get a good tablet, it costs a lot of money. I rather spend the money on a good computer than a mobile device. I'm probably gonna end up breaking the screen on at some point. No, to be fair, the only laptop I have is an old MacBook, so I could always try and get that one up and running. Oh. It had some issues with the charging port. And the Apple Store can't fix shit. So the other problem is that I can't really charge the Apple product properly anymore. Yeah, Apple products is what you get if you have money, but you don't give a shit about repairability or good service. The big issue with working with this way though is that it's kind of painful. To work with ink and pens for too long, for longer periods of time. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. So yeah. Potato cannon power. Yeah. Ooh, boom. Yes, very good storyboard. Yeah. Okay, so get betrayed. The stabber walks away. It is surrounded by monsters. Accidentally falls down a hole in the ground. Stumbles across a treasure chest. Inside the chest, he finds a potato cannon, which can shoot objects at a great distance at lethal speed, a lethal velocity. And now he runs around in a dungeon essentially with a rocket launcher, shooting things with his potions. Aha! In other words, he got a bazooka that can shoot shit. And with that, I quit. Because I'm feeling like shit. But still, yeah. Here is my fantastic story idea. Das wird dann ja.